Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Oakland Raiders. So with that, let's get out to the East Bay and Oakland, California. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
This is the NFL on EA Sports as we welcome you from the East Bay and Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play, and they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. At their own 28-yard line. Set back. Set the outlaw. Oh, you got deep? Strong right. Strong right. Strong right. Hey.
On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
That was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10.
Set 50, plant. Alpha. 57, come on. Now.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Going down the middle, and it's complete. The 30, 10, 5, touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Now for the point after. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And shoving his way inside the 35. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Rashad Penny, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now the try here for the point after. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Five. 57's right. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want none.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Touchdown, Vikings.
Touchdown.
A big play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Check 13. Check 13.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. His fourth touchdown on the year. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 14. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And now out comes Minnesota. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Go. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. Hey, check Mike 2.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's going to... It got his man complete. Past the 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. Doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. As his guys are able to regain the lead. 1 play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Mike 57. Watch the flag. Watch the flag. Watch the flag. Watch the flag. Watch the flag.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. They played extremely well last week in that win over the Packers.
And they needed to be because that game was a game you don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and they got it done.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Off the play fake. Span under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Tack McKinley in there for the sack on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Second quarter from Oakland, the homestanding Raiders with the football here as they've got it with a third down and long coming up. Throwing on third and long. Span. And he's got room. There he goes left side. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Third down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field on an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
57 Mike.
2nd and 11. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards is the pickup there in a Raider first. On first down, Span. He finds Hopkins complete. And able to rip up a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Span. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. And now it's 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with. They have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive. And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for the loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes. That's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4. He'll look to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10.
Right here, right here. Hey, Charlie! 57. Mike, 57. Check. Bam. Hit it.
They'll look to throw here. It's complete to Diggs. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Go. Under 10.
2nd and 3. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll drop the throw. And he's able to find Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Bravo. First down, Vikings. Coaching spell. Check 55 to Mike. I got it.
Now back to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just working the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Again, he'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
Hey, box up.
2nd and 4. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 27-yard line. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. This quarterback now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. That's going to be caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Point after, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can.
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly... We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory.
And this is caught at the 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there. 75 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Here's a 2nd and 7.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big. And now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was really easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here.
First down, Minnesota. Yeah. You don't want none?
Fine. They run again on first down. Cook. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now Cook. Cook stripped. The ball's out, and the Raiders pick it up. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic. That's caught inside the 20. 39 yards there, a big one.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Now, look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
57, come on. Man, that's trash. That's trash.
Back to throw. Span. James has got it. Complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Let's go. Watch twist.
A quick throw. Here's Shepard. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Daniil Hunter, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag? You just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board. Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. 30, the 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 85 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Daniil Hunter, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance.
50 seconds to Mike. Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Span. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Span. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now in the East Bay. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Danielle Hunter in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7.
57, Mike 57.
On third down, Span, and the pressure gets to him again. Danielle Hunter in there for the 7th time in this game alone, and that ties him with the late Derek Thomas for the most sacks ever in a single game.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language. Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start. Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Back to throw here. Big hold of the 30. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And all the way up to the 45-yard line. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. This quarterback now, pretty remarkable. 14 of 15 through the air, only 1 incompletion. And another 1st and 10 here. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game.
And this is caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kyle Rudolph. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing, too.
Oh, she's at least...
She's on, like, the 5th tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 19. Looking to throw. Span. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cleveland Farrell. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They'll set up to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. And Diggs has it. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this.
Down.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Hey, exit. 55. Right there in the middle. 55.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. 2nd and 10. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Dante Fowler able to record his 5th sack of the season. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
57, Mike 57. Hey, Sam off.
He'll drop to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Throwing to start the drive. Span gets it to Meredith complete. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Graves. And the ball is knocked out. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
On the set. Watch the 57. Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot. 57's the mic. 57's the mic. 57's the mic. 57's the mic. Go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
Hey, high 7. 57's Mike. Mike 57. You're out. Get off the field. 25. Check. Let's go.
They'll look to throw. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side.
Woo! You got it. You got it.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.